what we're going to be doing is almost reverse engineering the essay writing process. So when we talk about reverse engineering the essay writing process, we want to think about how much time roughly do you have before you have to write this essay, and working backwards from there to figure out what you need to do to get to that stage. So to get to the stage where you are able to write an essay to a question under timed conditions in 2, 3, however many weeks' time, you should be thinking about what amount of time do I personally need to just practice. You probably want to leave for the HSC a week, but you might not have that same luxury for the trials. Ideally, you'd have close to a week, maybe 5 days or so, where you know all of the content and you're just practicing writing it out to timed conditions, obviously balancing it out with practicing all of your other English materials as well. Which means then we need to be considering how much time you're going to need to learn the content. Now, one of the strategies that I tend to find is really helpful when learning content really quickly for exams is to practice reading it out loud, almost like it's a speech. I think a lot of students, when they're trying to learn content, whether it's essays, whether it's notes, whatever, end up writing out their essays word for word, and that takes a very, very long time to copy out an essay from the screen or from the page. Instead, if you think about how short an amount of time it would take to read an essay out loud, 6 or 7 minutes or something like that, in the same amount of time that you might be able to handwrite an essay, you might be able to say an essay out loud 5 or 6 times. And you would know from whenever you've had to do speeches for school that the more you practice reading something out loud, the quicker you're able to learn that content. Now, in terms of the process that we're looking at when we are developing drafts, we want to really labor over the drafting process, really nail the expression there, make sure, especially the analysis, is very concise and compact, because while the substance of what you write in the exam will be fresh and should be tailored to the question and should feel like it is a response that has been written to that question and that question only, a lot of the actual analysis is going to stay the same. You're not going to know every single word within the Eliot poems. You're not going to know how you can analyze every line. You're going to have a set amount of analysis that you want to write. And so the skill is in being able to perfect that analysis, learn that analysis really well, and then adapt it to the question. What you identify within Eliot's form, what you say about his context, the evidence that you choose, the effect of his poetic style, a lot of that won't be dramatically influenced by a question. If there's opportunities to manipulate it and adapt it to the question, absolutely take them. But the techniques that you are picking out from Eliot's poetry are often not going to be dictated by the question. It's that argument, those topic sentences that undergo the most radical change to accommodate the question. So these are the 3 steps that we want to be considering within that drafting, editing, revision, memorization, practice process. Perfecting the essay, learning all of the content, and not just one perfect prefabricated essay, but all of the other content that you might need to know to adapt to any question. And then having a willingness to be flexible with the essay, acknowledging that there is nothing that is so precious that it can't be cut or can't be radically changed in order to answer the question.